Welcome everybody to this special edition bonus episode of the Journeyman Cave. With me as always, a very good friend, Mr. Mark Shakespeare. All right, mate?
Yeah, you know I am, boss.
I thought we'd treat the listeners to a bit of an extra bonus episode. So we were on our travels at the weekend. We went to a boxing show. Do you want to tell everybody where we went?
Yeah, what at the Hilton Hotel? Was it a Pear Tree Hilton Hotel, mate? What it called?
Doubletree Hilton Hotel in Sheffield. So it was a show by Scott Calow and Kas Hussain, and it was lovely of them to invite us along. You did your first full night as a house, second, and I was allowed to tag along. So I think we should talk about that first. So how many of the fights did you end up being in the corner?
5 out of 6, mate, I think I were in there. No, 4 out of 6, sorry, I were in there for. And one really in there, because I ended up in Michael Mooney's corner, didn't I?
You did.
But first of all, before we get into that, I'd like to congratulate Calow and Kas Hussain for such a great show. Entertaining night, wasn't it?
It was a great night.
It had everything, didn't it?
It really did.
It had some decent scraps, nice bit of boxing in there, and a nice upset at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well,
but I hope Declan's okay after that, because he put a lot into that with Fonz as well in that fight, which we'll get to later on.
Yeah, we'll talk about that soon. So while I were there, obviously, rather than propping up the bar for once, I took my gear along, set up in the corner of the away changing room, and I collared a few people. And honestly, we were there quite early, weren't we? So as we're sort of finding his way around and that, I just sees this face looking at me, pointing. Only Michael Mooney. And he'd only got a Journeyman Cave tracksuit top on.
He's a good lad, is Michael. He's an absolute legend. And, everywhere he goes, he just lights up a room, doesn't he?
Oh, what a character. Honestly, that... Again, we will get into this as this episode gets along. But yeah, he lit up that room. And, everybody who were in that room were just a pleasure to be around. And it's such as we've heard and we've sort of experienced now, that's what it's like in the away corner. There's no nerves or pressure as such. Well, if there are nerves, they don't show it. And it's
been a good time, mate. It's what they're doing, it.
So what we're going to do is we're going to play some clips of me. Sorry, Mark's not there. It's just me talking to these guys. You were busy in corner. So the first one I want to play is Michael Mooney himself. And, have a listen. You hold that. Keep it somewhat near your face. We'll keep it short and sweet. So I've got Michael Mooney with me tonight. What's this, 116?
116, yeah.
Who are you fighting, do you know?
Don't know. Ain't got a clue.
I had a quick look. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Andrea Chikaleshi.
Sounds like a girl's name.
4-0.
Yeah, 4-0.
See anything happening tonight? Or?
See me getting in there and just giving him a little workout. Hopefully I don't get myself knocked out. Nobody wants that, do they?
Absolutely
he
not.
He does, though. He ain't knocked no one out yet, has he? So he's looking for a knockout.
Well, that's what
they're all looking for a knockout, especially these lads when they're on their first fight as well. They just want to get in there and they just want to take your jaw out. They want to be the next Floyd Mayweather. But in reality, none of them are.
Brilliant, mate. So, couple of standard questions, shall we say. Who's your toughest opponent you've faced? Because you've got a few to choose from.
Fucking hell, I've had quite a lot, haven't I? Tough, hard lads. Ben Wager.
Ben Wager?
Yeah, he was just hard.
Yeah.
He's just a hard fighter.
He's one of our boys, him from Barnsley.
Yeah, Barnsley lad is. Yeah, he's good. Good, yeah. I fought him in English title eliminator.
Right.
Yeah. I was still throwing punches when the ref stopped the fight, but if the ref didn't stop the fight in the fourth round, the ref would have stopped the fight in fucking 6th or the 7th. I was getting stopped no matter what, I feel like I was only there to make up numbers, but I'll give it a go, and I've always given it a go. It depends really. Unless I'm doing a walk around, then I ain't giving it a go.
Yeah. How far into your career with that one, Wager?
That was probably about 20 fights, maybe 15 fights.
Oh, right. That was early doors, yeah.
Yeah, so 100 fights ago.
Wow.
Seems a lifetime, don't it?
Well, it is.
Well, yeah, it is. And how long have I been doing this now for now? When I was 28, I turned pro. I'm 38 now. Nearly 11 years.
Yeah, over a decade. Wow.
I've only been on this planet for 4 decades, so a quarter of that I've been getting my face smashed in.
Brilliant, mate. How about then your favourite boxer of all time and why?
I like Prince Nassim.
Yeah?
Yeah, nice. Really like him. It's just cocky, ain't he? The way he moved in the ring, and he's just. I like that arrogance about him. It's just cockiness, and love him or hate him.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't care. He didn't care, and he'd smash your face in straight away. And he all he wanted to do was smash people's face in, and I like that.
Yeah, brilliant, mate. Well, I think you'll have to come on for a full-length interview one day. Cause,
definitely.
You're definitely our guy. I mean, I'm going to get a photo because he's got one of our tracksuit tops on.
Yeah,
he looks swell in it.
Does it fit me well?
It looks mint, mate.
I know it do.
Thank you for that.
I was just looking for a compliment.
Speak to you soon, mate.
Down.
Michael Mooney there, and he did look good in that jacket, didn't he?
Spot on, mate, didn't he?
And just after that, that's when he decided to put the tunes on. And we'll hear in the next clip. Honestly, more like a party, more like a disco, isn't it?
He loves his trance like me, though, doesn't he? He's a proper dance man, isn't he? Unlike you, Mr. Scarfe.
Oh, no, complete opposites, but it were all good fun. We by this point we'd met Harley Marginson was there in the change room, and he'd come with Kiernan McAfee. Kiernan was supposed to fight in Swindon that night, but I don't know if his opponent pulled out or whatever it were. So he came along with Harley instead. So basically I took advantage and collared him for a couple of minutes. Right, so I'm here with Kiernan McAfee. We're at the Sheffield show. You're not fighting tonight, yeah, mate, but you're here with Harley Marginson?
Yeah, I'm here with Harley Marginson, his driver today.
Oh, right.
Here
nice
to support him.
Brilliant. Yeah. So we thought we'd call you. The party's just getting started in this away corner, so apologies if there's any tunes in the background. Hey up, Perry. All right, pal. Good to see you.
Good to see you. I'm not interrupting, am I?
You are, but it don't matter to me. I'll get you in a bit.
I'm famous, aren't I? Sorry.
So anyway, Kiernan, right, obviously you're not fighting tonight, so I can't ask you about that. But I'd love to know your toughest opponent you've faced so far.
I would probably say my toughest one was my debut against Jake Harrison.
Where was that?
That was in Liverpool.
Right. How did that go?
I lost, obviously, on points.
Yeah. But you didn't get stopped or anything?
No, I didn't get stopped. I got put down in the first round, but for me that was like a wake-up call to like what the pro game's like. Yeah. And it's like, then I realised that it's an hard game, so then it's like you got to start being serious with it.
Absolutely. Well, again, we're in a room here. We've got Fonz Alexander, 100 and what is it, 60 odd. We've got Michael Mooney, 116 or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, there's some warriors in here. I suppose other thing I'd love to know as well then is your favourite boxer of all time.
I'm going to say at the minute it's Calow. Yeah. I just like his work ethic. Yeah. And he's always like, and he's not afraid to do anything too out there, like fighting b-ball and things like that. Whereas like a lot of fighters now, they turn down fights and stuff. Right. Whereas I think he takes anyone on.
Brilliant.
So I think like he's a good role model for, especially like people coming up. Yeah. So he's good.
So, plans for the future? Have you got any goals?
I just want to be active.
Yeah.
Be active, stay on weight, and enjoy the journey.
Take it as it comes.
Yeah.
Perfect, mate.
Each fight as it comes. You never know how long it's going to last. So it's better just enjoying it.
Brilliant. Well, we'll look forward to having a show for a full interview sometime. Yeah, but thank you very much, mate.
Thank you. Nice for that.
I think, as you can see, I invited everybody to come on to the show for a full interview. Might get a bit repetitive, but such a nice kid, Kiernan. I actually spent a bit of time with him in bar watching football. At the time, Man United were losing, which was quite fun, but it didn't last. And a quick cameo there from Perry Howe. We'll be hearing a little bit more from him later. Next up, Harley Marginson. I remember hearing his name, well, not too long ago. I mean, it's not your most common surname. Can you remember why?
No, not really, mate. But I'll tell you something, mate. I mean, it's the first time I met him, and I quite enjoy watching him in the ring. I was inside the ring, obviously outside the ring doing the seconds, and I was very impressed with his movement and his skills. And I think he's perfect to be a journeyman. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't his favourite fighter Lomachenko?
Well, we'll have to find out, won't we?
Well, there you go.
Now joining me, I've got Harley Marginson fighting tonight, fight number 13.
Yeah, 13.
Yeah, Adam Sircar, 5-1. Any predictions?
Let's see, I'm on the road. Yeah. I wonder how that's going to go.
Well, we'll settle for a draw.
Yeah.
Well, while I've got you, mate, obviously everybody's getting set up, and getting ready for the fights. I'd like to know the toughest opponent you faced in your career.
Probably Jack Murphy at Hatton's gym. Very rangy, very sharp. His power wasn't wasn't kind of there, which I'm glad about because he threw that many punches and hit me with that much. I'd have been out if he'd have had any more power. He was just very, very good kid. He's easily the best one I've fought so far. He just needs that little bit of knockout power, but I think if he starts sitting on his shots, that'll come.
Yeah, so, nice one. We'll keep an eye on him. And the other one, the fun question: favourite boxer of all time and why?
Probably Lomachenko.
All right.
Because he's got all the skills I wish I had. He's got all the ability that I look at and I'm like, if I was 15 years younger, I might be able to get myself to a quarter of that level.
Yeah. Wow.
But no, it's I'm past it. But he's definitely not.
It's early days for you yet, mate. You've got plenty in tank yet, haven't you?
A couple of years yet,
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Brilliant.
1 or 2.
Right. Well, thank you very much for joining us. We'll speak to you soon. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
So you were in the corner for Harley's fight. How did it go?
Went really well, mate. Like I said just earlier, touched on it. I was in the corner with Gaz Ward as well, who obviously were training and come along with Harley Marginson. And, just listening to Gaz, he would have thinking the same me, could hear say, oh, lovely movement and such great movement from him. And, he got a couple of drawed rounds in there as well, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was 60-56.
Yeah, which I think he deserved because that guy did come for a go and Harley made him miss quite a lot, which is credit to Harley. Yeah. And our right one then, it was Lomachenko, his favourite fighter.
It was, yeah.
Well, I can understand because he does base himself around a lot like that. He's very good skilled-wise, Harley, and he'll go very far. I don't think, if he says he's got a couple of years left him in, I think he'll have a few more, mate, because the way he moves around the ring and, I don't think he's going to get hit very much unless there's someone really good in there with him.
Right.
So I don't think he's going to get many injuries or many cuts. He knows his way around that ring and he'll be a cracking journeyman to look forward to going forward, and it was a pleasure to be in his corner.
Yeah, really nice kid. Next up, we've got Kristaps Zulgis. Now, Kristaps was the only one that I ended up speaking to post-fight because he was on first, and once he'd started sort of like getting him ready and warming up, there was no way I was interrupting that. But, hey, he spoke like, for me, he spoke like he'd not been in ring. So, and just before we do speak to Kristaps, quick shout out to the photographer, Raw Hits, on Instagram. He was there. He came with Kristaps, I believe. And he was taking photos in changing room, what have you. And there's some cracking shots. He's been uploading them since Saturday. So I just wanted to give Raw Hits a shout out. And now let's go and talk to Kristaps. So joining me now is Kristaps Zulgis.
Yeah,
I pronounced that properly.
Yeah,
brilliant.
like Latvian.
You've just done 4 rounds with Cameron Howe.
Yeah, that's
How
correct.
was that? How'd you find it?
It was a fireworks, I started maybe a little bit too cautious in the first round, but in the second, third, I feel that I let my hands go.
Well, in the second, you caught him with a good left. I noticed that one.
He had the shaky legs.
He did. It quietened the crowd down as well. So, yeah, but you got through it. All good.
Yeah, thanks God,
Pretty unscathed from what I can tell. So when's your next fight?
27th of April.
So a couple of weeks. Yeah. Keep going. So this was 64 tonight.
64, that's correct.
In those 64, who's the toughest opponent you've faced?
There is a couple of the names, but one of the toughest one I can say, John Doherty.
Yeah. How far into your career was that?
Couldn't remember exact number.
Early
but
days.
It's
Middle?
somewhere in the middle. I bet it's like.
So what made him particularly tough?
Tricky southpaw, and
All
it's
right.
like heavy-handed, so.
Yeah. But you got through okay?
It was, he got me with a body shot,
see.
so it actually was a low blow, and
Right.
but it's like, I stay down, and I think there's no point to carry on, but.
Fair enough.
It was too heavy division as well for me, it's like.
Correct, yeah. Well, and also, just to finish, obviously you need to get yourself off home, but your favourite boxer of all time?
My favourite boxer of all time is Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah? Why is that?
The footwork, the singing, the basketball playing, and everything, the abs, the lifestyle.
Brilliant.
It's just amazing. Something different,
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite punches.
Love it.
Is left hook, So, but yeah.
Amazing stuff. Well, I'll not keep you any longer, but thank you, and I'll catch you again soon.
Yeah.
Take
my pleasure.
care. Thank you.
All the best.
Yeah, so good to speak with Kristaps. This was time of night when I was collaring them thick and fast. And obviously, once you've been in the ring and once you've got your money, you want to go home. So it was very kind of Kristaps to give me them couple of minutes before he shot off. And speaking of, being fast and furious at the time, I collared Perry Howe just before he went in. So again, good of him to give me them 2 minutes. But obviously Perry was our last guest, full episode, round 48, if you want to hear more from Perry. But, such a character, really lovely. Do you know what? You could listen to Perry all day. Just give him a mic. He'd be a better interviewer than me. So let's go and listen to Perry. Seen enough of him recently as it is. We've got Perry Howe with us now.
The one and only.
How you doing?
I'm all right, mate. You?
Last minute call up, were it?
Yeah, I was sat at work Monday and gets a phone call off Rob. Do you want to fight Sheldon McDonald on Saturday? I was like, yeah, why not? Not on telly. Let's go and have a go.
Yeah. So do you know much about Sheldon?
Yeah, I know a bit about Sheldon because obviously when I was doing the ticket selling and that, he was up there on my hit list.
Right.
Obviously I watched him box my pal Ricky on the Ultimate Boxer. He's a good lad. Total respect for him, to be fair. He's obviously now the only cruiserweight left in Sheffield with a winning record.
All right.
Obviously he's going to want to step over me tonight and go on to bigger things. But we'll see how I feel. That might not happen. We'll see. Depends what mood I'm in the next hour or so.
Well, been asking people tonight, will their toughest opponent they faced in their career? I'm pretty sure we probably touched on it in podcast, but yeah, if you won't mind reminding us.
There's definitely one sticks in my head. Obviously, a bit of a career definer for me with Dex Spellman.
Yeah.
He was coming back at Cruiser. That I'd been eyeing it up for 2-3 weeks, and Rob was saying to me, "You're not having that fight." I'd literally boxed a Cameroonian at Fight Zone. He'd had 7 losses. He turned it into a 50-50 war. And my justification to Rob was, if these lads are turning up to have a go with me anyway, I might as well get in with credible names, credible fighters, and probably the start of my love for the away side of it. So
that's where it began.
Yeah, this is it. I've always been the underdog, so I like to go in against the odds and have a go.
Nice one, mate. And the other one I've been asking is your favourite boxer of all time and why?
Good question. So nothing boxing related, but as a kid, I used to relate to Ricky quite a lot because obviously I used to watch what he do out of the gym. And he likes to drink and he likes to laugh. And he obviously, everyone always says he weren't taking it serious, but I don't agree with that. Like, I'm on the side now where you've got to find the work-life balance. And
absolutely.
So all work and no play can make you quite a stale fighter. I think if you're happy in your own life and you're doing what you're doing, you can balance it. So maybe Ricky did take the mick a bit, but don't we all?
Absolutely. All right.
So, but yeah, and to be fair, as a fighter, he were up there when I remember being about 15 years old when he beat Costa Shoe. And I stayed up to watch that 4 in the morning. My mum and dad fell asleep, and I was watching that on the telly, and that was one of them fights. So I'm like, I want to go with that. That's what I want to do. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I'll not keep you any longer. Good luck for tonight, mate.
Thank you very much.
Catch you again soon.
Cheers,
Thank you. Perry Howe there. So he went in with
Sheldon McDonald, didn't he?
Sheldon McDonald, that was it. What happened?
Well, it was a tough night's work, mate. He did well, as we know. He took that fight at 4 days' notice. Respect to Perry for that. Yeah. Not many would do that, especially not at that weight. And, Perry's good at what he does. He's very awkward style. And unfortunately, in the 6th round, he got stopped with a pretty bad, knockout. But luckily, he come out okay. I got talked to him in the dressing room after, and I gave him a big hug. And I just said, enjoy a bit of time with your family now. Sometimes a punch has got your name on it, and it happens to them all, mate.
It does.
And also, I haven't forgot these guys. I mean, obviously, as you know, I went in the corner with Michael Mooney, and I'm just like a baby and a complete newcomer to all this. And I would really like to thank Pete Heighton and Rob Riley from Perry's team for helping me out in the corner with Michael. It didn't go unnoticed, and I'll never forget it, guys. I can't thank you enough for how you helped me, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without you both. So thank you very much for that, guys.
Yeah, spot on. Well, just before we do the last one, I'm going to give you a hint who it might be, Shecky, because we all know what he likes to do before a fight. As we got to the hotel, walked into the away corner dressing room, and it's completely empty, except just to the left of the doorway as we walk in, somebody's fast asleep.
Yeah, my favourite journeyman at the moment is Fonz Alexander, wasn't it? And I always say, Scarfe, that there's 2 things that you're very good at. Number 1 is drinking. And number 2 is sleeping. And I think I might have found a contender for you. to see who can sleep in any places more, because he was fast on, that guy, when he was Fonz when we walked in, and he was same when we saw him at Metrodome.
Yeah, I were.
And I did mention this to him as well. Bit of funny one, this. A bit of bad luck. We seem to bring Fonz a little bit of bad luck, but also the very best of luck as well.
All right.
Because obviously on Saturday we got there and he were on last. Well, the last time we saw him as well, when it was at Metrodome, when we went in, I saw him there fast asleep on some yoga mats and he were on last again. So I apologise for that, Fonz. See, every time me come and see you, you're on last, and I really apologise for that. But there's an upside to this as well for me and you being there.
Yeah.
Because not only did we go on Saturday, he won by knockout.
Yeah, he did, and we'll talk about that in a bit.
Which is a beauty. And if I'm not mistaken as well, the last time we won was at the Metrodome in Barnsley. And me and you were there again. So I think the pros outweigh the cons there, don't they?
I would say so.
Yeah. So I'm sure Fonz will forgive us, but we'll go on into that in a bit, mate. I'm looking forward to winning this interview.
I think that classes us as lucky omens. So, yeah, but let's go and listen to Fonz. This was obviously before his fight, and then we'll get into the bout after. Right, so last one of the night. You're fighting last. We've got Fonz Alexander. Now, I don't know if he's told you, as Mark, my co-host, but you're his favourite.
You're joking.
So, and I'm getting to talk to you now, so I feel honoured.
Wow, that's great. Hopefully you'll get a chance to speak to me too.
We'll definitely get you on the show one day, mate. I mean, what's tonight, 171?
I believe so, yeah. I don't really keep count, but I know it's either 170 or 171, so...
Have we got any goals, or are you just taking it week after week?
No, not really. My goal in life is just to enjoy life, and boxing has just paved the way for me to go and do all the things I enjoy. I like travelling, I like hobbies. I'm trying different things out and basically making new hobbies every other day. So really, boxing, I love fighting, don't get me wrong, but if boxing was to end tomorrow, it wouldn't really bother me.
Yeah?
No, I've done a lot with it. I've travelled most of the world. I've done a lot of things. I've enjoyed what I've got from boxing. I love a fight. Don't get me wrong. I have fun. I get in there. I have a laugh. I smile. So to me, it's just a pretty normal setting for me. Like, most people get nervous. I don't think I've ever been nervous once. Even against the fights where I'm like thinking, fuck, I've got to get out of this. You know, the ones that really give you non-stop pressure for the whole fight, and you think, well, I didn't train for this. But like I say, you get them nights. You get some nights where it's easy. Being a journeyman, I'm more of trying to give these guys experience. There are times where I know I could probably push on to a win or even a stoppage, but I stop myself because I've learned from past experience, if I knock a kid out or stop him, I only get hard fights or I get cancellations of fights, which is no money for me. So I knocked a kid out by accident in Wales, and I didn't get any fights for about 7-8 weeks, literally. And I had about 5 fights lined up and I lost all of it. So being a journeyman, there's perks and there's obviously downfalls. Being a journeyman too.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because we came in today and you were only one in the room and you were fast asleep. Well, I think you were asleep anyway, next to the door, and that was the first story we heard of you.
You know what it is? I'm just so bored of just waiting.
Yeah,
do you know?
a lot of waiting,
it's like, say, you're travelling a bit earlier to get here to weigh in, and at the minute, I'm quite light, so I'm having to eat just to make weight. So It's not like the perk of I want to get here, get weighed, and go eat.
Yeah,
I've already ate. Like today, I must have gone through so much food and drink. I got here and I was like, well, I don't need to eat, I don't need to drink, so I just thought I'm just going to get my head down, sleep.
Wow. So 170 fights, 171 after night, obviously. How hard is it to pick maybe your toughest opponent from that lot?
I could say his name right now. So Silo De Fruitis, and I actually fought him on his debut. And the most weirdest thing about this debut is it was 6 rounds, not 4, 6.
For a debut,
and I said to my promoter, I says, "This is a bit odd, isn't it? I'm doing 6 rounds. I've never heard of him." And then I looked him up and I thought, wow, you know Marcus from Gogglebox?
Yes.
Well, it's his kid. He runs a boxing gym when he's not doing the Gogglebox, and his kid Silo De Fruitis, Sugar Shy is his nickname.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, oh god damn it, he's coming for the stoppage tonight. And I look at some of the guys he was training with, and he was training with some really good lads, like down in the gym in London. So like Conor Ben, a lad from Wales, can't remember his exact name, but basically fighting really good boxers, well above my level. So I thought, well, if he's sparring the likes of them and training alongside them, this is going to be a tough road fight. And I did find that in the first, second round, he was just playing with me, literally, and he wasn't even putting his pace up. And then in the third, he must have hit me with some cracking shots. He kept hitting me with this hook into the same place in my jaw, and my jaw just started going click, click.
Oh.
And it never done that before. And I actually thought, if I keep continuing on, this kid's going to break my jaw. It got to the fourth round. He hit me with a left hook, a uppercut, another left hook, another uppercut as I come around from being dazed. And I just thought, fuck this. Like, I took a knee. Now, I've never been stopped properly. The referee's always stopped the fight. I've been beaten for like 6 rounds before. Darren Tetley, for instance, southpaw, awkward, was hitting me with some nice shots. Literally, like my mouth was all bloody, my nose was burst. And it got to 20 seconds for the last bell, and the referee just come in and stop the fight. He went, no, you took too much. I went, you're joking. I took a beating for 6 rounds, and you stop it 20 seconds for the last bell. I took a shot, and I literally smiled at him.
Yeah.
So I was annoyed at that. So I've had a few stoppages early from referees, which I thought was a bit unfair.
Yeah.
Because I'm quite stubborn, I'd say. Even though the better boxers and they're definitely going to win regardless, I just felt like I was cheated. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to really get stopped.
Well, that's how it seems to me as well.
No, but like fighting this guy outside the British, bloody hell! Like I took a knee.
Yeah.
I had to take a knee because I thought, in the long run, if he breaks my jaw, I'm going to be out for a longer time. And I just had to give the lad respect. I went to the knees, I started clapping my hands, and then the girl started counting to 10. And I was like, I ain't getting up. And then after I got up, I said, no, mate, honestly, I shouldn't have even been in this room with you, mate. You were well above my league. Better than most of the boxers I've fought that I've had like 9-10 fights. And I learned a lot from that, to be honest. There is a lot of good kids out there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's been out more recently. I know he's had about 3-4 fights now. So, but yeah, it'd be nice to see him, see how he gets on.
Keep an eye out for him.
Oh yeah, definitely. I remember the name, mate.
Yeah, I will now.
Yeah, if I've had another fight, I always remember the name. People go, oh, what about this kid? You fought him. I'm like, mate, I've had 170 odd fights. I can't remember every one of them, but I always remember the ones that gave me trouble.
Absolutely. Right, well, I'll not keep you any longer because you'll be in, well, hopefully not too much longer, but thank you, mate. And we've got to get you in for the full interview.
Yeah,
thank you.
Good, thank you.
Take care. So, yeah, rounding off the interviews of this episode with Fonz Alexander, who went on to win. Do you want to tell us about it?
Wow, what a scrap.
And we saw it.
Yeah.
Well, I did, sorry. I saw it all watching.
Credit to both fighters, credit to Declan and credit to Fonz. It was an absolute war. And obviously, with me being a massive fan of the away corner and you yourself now, it was great for us to see a victory for the away corner. But as we know, we don't want to see anyone get hurt in that ring. And, it was quite a bad knockout at the time, and I had to throw the stool in for Declan to sit on. But he was such a brave guy, Declan, and all, because the stool went in for him. He goes, I don't want that stool, I'm fine. You know what I mean? He was angry with his performance, and, but he'll go away, will Declan, and he'll learn from that. And Fonz just took advantage of the chance, really, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
and that was it.
171 fights, mate. He's no mug, is he? He knows exactly what he's doing. Smells that opportunity. I think he's going to take it.
He was. I think it turned into a war, and he thought, I just fancy this, and a rush of blood and bang.
Yeah, and so good to speak to as well. So, I mean, obviously he's your favourite, and he's fast becoming one of my favourites. So we definitely need to arrange to get you on to the full show, Fonz, if you are listening. Get in touch. So we hope you've enjoyed this episode, guys. Just a bit of a bonus. We hope to be doing things like this a bit more in the future, obviously time permitting. But we've got Series 6 on the way, episode 50, which we hope might be something a little bit special. So please, subscribe wherever you listen. Tell your mates about it. That's the best way to, for our listenership to grow. And we will catch you in Series 6. I'll speak to you soon, Shecky.
All the best, mate.